Welcome to the Growth Lab podcast, the only B2B sales podcast with proven strategies, tools, and tactics for selling into construction, FM, and property management. I'm your host, Matt Harris, the creator behind the Growth Lab.
Well, so it's like there's two ways to look at it, right? There's like, damn it, you're not tracking what you're doing. But if your close rate is 50% just on referrals, I almost wonder, like, it's not like my brain goes, how do you get to that size on accident? But my brain's like, imagine what size you could be with a little bit of intention.
This is what I'm saying. So it's been a learning curve for me because originally, I was just approaching cleaning businesses saying, look, let me find the opportunities for you. But the more I've been speaking with them, the more I've realized, well, actually, even before we find the opportunities, let's take a step back. Let's actually put some foundations in place for you. Let's get you some basics. Let's get you a CRM. Let's at least have a very simple sales process for you to follow. So from the moment, you find an opportunity, you contact them, like what happens after that? Do you just forget about them and contact them again in a year or never? Or do you have, some sort of system in place whereby every 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, they hear from you in some sort of way? Do you have a follow-up procedure where, yes, you've spoken with them this time, they weren't interested, but, you follow up in 3 or 4 months' time and say, hey, I'm back, is there still an opportunity? They might say no. Okay, cool. I'll speak to you again in another 3 or 4 months. Who knows? So even just putting those sorts of foundations in place so that they're better prepared to, accept opportunities that come along. I mean, and I'll be honest, look, guys, when I had my business, I'll be very honest, I didn't do this. I didn't. Not at all. I looked at different CRMs, but it took me probably 5 years of running my business to get to that point. And yes, did it help afterwards? For sure. We ended up winning our biggest contract because we had a follow-up procedure, because we were constantly staying in touch with these clients, with this particular client, because we had records of previous conversations, because, we logged personal comments that they were saying, and, we built a rapport with them. And it took maybe 9 months to get across the line. But, without having that CRM in place, I don't think we would have necessarily converted that opportunity.
I agree. I think organization, CRMs is super important, especially on sales follow-up. Let me ask you, give some people some golden nuggets on maybe some tips and tricks that you've realized that you do or that you've implemented in other companies that you're like, you should be doing this and you're not doing it. So like, for example, one of the things I love doing is after any meeting, regardless if we set up a follow-up or not, I love sending summaries. I love sending summaries, key points that we identified, next steps, like problems we identified, why it might be the best solution, next steps, and then make sure that everybody was on that party is CC'd inside of that. And not a lot of people do that, right? So I just wanted to double check. And what are some golden nuggets you would share with people maybe on those?
So I also have a summary, but I send a little 2 or 3 minute video. So I'll send an email, and in the email will be a link to like a video where I'm just like, look, hey, these are the key takeaways from our conversation. This is what I suggest is the next steps. I know you're not in a position right now, but perhaps, I can circle back in 3, 4, 6 months and we can continue the conversation. And it's nice to have that sort of personal touch. And also it shows that you're putting in a little bit more effort. And I guarantee 9 times out of 10 clients, they're not gonna get that. So that helps. I think also taking like the multi-channel approach. Yes, you're going to reach out to them on email, connect with them on LinkedIn, shoot them a message, and also actually be proactive in engaging with some of their content. Some people are just not active at all. Others are super active. So engage. By doing that, you're going to be showing up in their mind, right? So even in 3, 4, 6, 12 months time, when you do reach back out to them, they will recognize your name. They'll be like, okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, we've connected on LinkedIn and I've liked some of your stuff and you've liked some of my stuff and we've seen some comments. Like it's simple stuff.
No, the one you just talked about. I call it I call it a dopamine train. It's like we're addicted to images, red alerts, a like, and a comment and a message. Like it's a dopamine hit, right? So I always tell people like email is cool because that's business. That's where you run your business or call.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to see a flooded email. But like when you do any LinkedIn hunting, and it's like, can you take care of that small dopamine that we're all addicted to that social media has given us. Can we leverage that addiction and throw some dopamine in their brain so that when they see LinkedIn, they think Angel. When they see Angel, they think cleaning. When they think cleaning, right? It's like what I love to like map out, like in what journey do I need to throw a dopamine? I can start programming them, as crazy as it sounds, to when they think of a specific word or a specific action, they see my face in there. Does that make sense? And that's all
using
part of
some
the sales
NLP,
part.
man. Get in there.
Oh, hell yeah. Some NLP in here, living their subconscious, man. It's true. And also, like you got to disrupt it. You got what they're already addicted to and what they're already triggered and programmed by, and then be able to show them a different way, right? Once you have their attention. One of my mentors said it like, all of you want to sell, and that's cool. But the first thing you got to do is just get their attention. If you don't have their attention, you can't do anything. He's like, attention, then make them aware of what's going on. After they're aware and you have the attention, then you dive deeper into what the problem is and then present or get permission to present their solution. And every time I do that, I'm like, that's why people that get the most attention win first. That's why we all hate Grant Cardone as a sales trainer. Like there's better sales trainers, but Grant Cardone is not a sales trainer. He's a marketing genius that even though he's not the best sales trainer, when you think sales, you think Grant Cardone.
Absolutely.
When you think real estate, you think Grant Cardone. Apartment flipping, Grant Cardone. Money, Grant Cardone.
And you hear 10.
Yeah, you hear 10 or multiplier, 10. Anything that scales is Grant Cardone.
If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, make sure you hit that follow button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or hit that subscribe button on YouTube to get early access to the next episode. And if you want weekly B2B sales tips sent directly to your inbox, make sure you subscribe to the Growth Lab newsletter via the link in the episode description. Until next time, stay grinding.